Hi, everybody. Hi, Tommy. Happy birthday. I am so sorry I could not be there in person, but I'm sending you all my love. And I know this is an incredible evening for you, an incredible event, and I'm just so grateful to know you. I'm going to read the speech that I had prepared for this event and then just talk a little bit more. So I just wanted to say that I'm tremendously honored to be a part of this and to thank Tommy and Kelly, who have become friends, for this lovely invitation to address what is probably undoubtedly an incredible group of people. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Sarah Klein, and I am the first known victim of former Olympic team doctor Larry Nassar. Larry began abusing me as an 8-year-old gymnast in Lansing, Michigan, before he had even started medical school. He was our athletic trainer at the local gymnastics club where I was a gymnast. He was not yet a famed Olympic doctor. He was just a kid out of college with his whole life ahead of him. My abuse, under the guise of medical treatment, occurred 3 to 4 times a week, every year, when I was 8 years old, 9 years old, 10 years old, 11 years old, 12 years old, 13 years old, 14 years old, 15 years old, and so on, for a total of 17 years of my life. It became more sporadic when I went to college, but I still regularly saw Larry every time I was home from college. Throughout those years, I learned a few things from Larry and from my gymnastics coach, the 2012 gold medal winning Olympic team head coach named John Geddert. I learned never to speak up, that it was bad and would get you a severe consequence, often physical abuse. I learned that staying silent is rewarded. I learned that my opinions don't matter, to never express them, and really not to talk at all. Just nod your head yes or no. I learned to detach from my body. I learned that grown men, my coach and Larry, got to dictate what happened to my body. I learned that physical pain and speaking up about it was weak and would get you punished. I learned to keep my head down, to follow the rules, to never ever let anyone see me cry. I learned about living in a constant state of fear. I never developed as a child a sense of self, a sense of worth, or any instincts about what was right or wrong. In January of 2018, on a cold winter day in a small courtroom in Lansing, Michigan, something that had never happened before in history happened. 256 women stepped up to face our abuser in court. We stood mere feet away from Larry Nassar and delivered our victim impact statements before the Honorable Judge Rosemarie Aquilina. My sister survivor, Kyle Stevens, was the first woman to address Larry at sentencing. She was Larry's neighbor and was abused by him from ages 6 through 12. She reported her abuse to a Michigan State University child psychologist, who in turn did not report it to anyone. Kyle walked confidently up to the podium, and she looked Larry in the eyes and said to him, "Little girls don't stay little forever. They grow into strong women." And because Kyle was so strong, the next survivor was a little bit stronger, and the next even stronger. We stood on each other's shoulders, and we spoke our truths aloud. Larry Nassar was given the maximum sentence, and he will spend the rest of his life in prison. After that week, the conversation about sexual abuse in this country began to expand. Our little army of survivors from Lansing, Michigan wasn't so little anymore. Our voices had been heard. The media had paid careful attention and broadcast our stories around the world. People were listening to us. People often ask us how Larry Nassar, Michigan State University, USA Gymnastics, and the U.S. Olympic Committee could get away with harboring an overt sexual predator for 30 years. The answer is that by looking the other way, covering up, and not reporting the first, second, 10th, 12th, 15th time that someone spoke up about Larry sexually abusing them. Essentially, these institutions did not believe children. I'm thankful that this year especially, there seems to have been born a new public awareness around the prevalence of sexual abuse in ways that data alone has not accomplished. We have just begun, I think, to fully comprehend the sheer number of children, women, and men who have experienced some form of sexual abuse in their lifetimes. This is happening everywhere, to our children, to our brothers, to our sisters. I think about the fact that somewhere in our own communities there is another 8-year-old little girl who is watching cartoons and playing with dolls like I was when my abuse started, who has or will have her life forever altered by abuse. Who will take her hand? Who will believe her? Who will tell her that she matters? Who will walk with her and be her advocate as she navigates the legal process, which I can tell you as an adult is really, really hard. Sharing these intimate stories about my life, as I am doing here today, is not easy. Each time I do it, it does not get easier. It is a sacrifice of privacy. I've been judged, I've been scrutinized, I've been shamed. But it is time that these conversations are had, that people who have survived talk about what happens in the shadows so that we can begin to let the light in. And that is what Tommy has done, and that is why he is so very brave and so very beautiful, and I am so incredibly proud to know him. By continuing to speak up, by continuing to show up, we are rewriting our narratives. And tonight, I want my story not to be a story of pain or of suffering, but to be one of hope. I humbly address you with the message that there is a better way. There are lives to be saved and lives to be changed for the better. And all of us here together at Tommy's 16th birthday are doing just that. By showing up, by listening to our stories, we are making the change. We are doing life-saving, life-giving, life-changing work. Together, all of us, we can do it better. Better for our babies, better for our sisters, better for our brothers. Together, we can do it better. Tommy, I thank you so much for inviting me. Kelly, thank you so much. I love you guys, and I will show up for you and for this cause every single time. Happy birthday, Tommy. Love you. Take care.